Question 2 is, what was the first session like? Okay, so I had the first session 2 weeks ago, and it's interesting because I resisted the first session. At first I said to Michelle, yes, I really want to do this, let's work together. And then I said to her, but you know what? I'm so busy, I'm preparing for a trip, I'm going to be gone for 6 weeks, and then when I get back it's going to be the middle of December. So maybe we should do it next year in January, fresh start. And she said, why not just have one session right now? If nothing else, it will just give you some food for thought during your trip. And I'm so grateful that I agreed to that, because the first session was wonderful. I'm a very analytical person. I like to know that all the bases are covered, and I don't like loose ends. That's why my procrastinating ways bother me so much, because it's a loose end that never gets tied up. It's like a running to-do list in my head that's so long, all the things that I know I need to do and want to do, and I just never am able to tick off. Anyway, so during that first session we covered all the different aspects / facets of my life. And I spoke a little bit about each one, identified the areas that I wanted to work in for each one of those, because I think it's rare for any one specific area to be just 100% functional and great. I mean, there's always a little bit that can be improved, even when you're doing everything right. At least that's true for me. Anyway, then we picked the one thing that I wanted to work on in the next, like in the foreseeable or in the short-term future, which is publishing my book. So during that first session, we discussed that in detail, discussed what that is, what it would look like to reach my goal, and then work backwards to determine the steps needed. So here's the thing about doing anything in the world, like, you can sum it up in one sentence: I want to publish my book. But publishing a book or anything, like even if it's something like I want to make a table, whatever it is, that goal has like hundreds, if not thousands, of little steps and little decisions that go into like realizing it. And sometimes it's those little steps that trip us up, but they're so small that we barely recognize them when they trip us. We stumble, but it's such a small stumble that like it doesn't stop us in our tracks. It's just like, oh, okay, well, I didn't do that today. Tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. So we have these little excuses. But oftentimes what we need to do is actually just be able to kind of zoom out. So this is what was really very powerful about that first session, is this zooming out so that I could see my goal, and then zooming in so I could see the detail, and then taking the detail and breaking that down into the smallest steps, and then coming up with an action plan with the help of my coach to figure out how I was going to do those small steps and what I was going to do the first time that I stumbled. So that was the first session. I put a plan in place, and then subsequently I've been working on all those little goals for the past 2 weeks, and it has been great. So let me finish this question and then I'll go into detail in the next question.